but how can I really turn my business up when I get access to this money?
Definitely run ads with your business. Invest the money into ads. That whole month, I might have spent like $3,000 or $4,000, but I ended up making $25,000 off of just me running ads. Simple video, run ads on it. People DM me, I get on the phone with them and sell them what I'm selling. So with any business you can do, whatever you're selling, you can run paid advertisement. You just want to just make sure you know your target and all that stuff is set up right. You want to make sure you got a good ad person, so that way you're not just spending money, because you can lose money by running ads and you don't know how to set it up correctly. I will say that, but as long as you got a good ad team, you don't have to have 100, 200,000 followers, none of that stuff. When I first started, I probably had like 1,000, 2,000 followers, and I was already making that kind of money.
Welcome to another episode of Access Granted, where I give you exclusive access to entrepreneurs that are killing it in their industry. Today, I am super excited to finally have Sharif. Sharif, welcome to Access Granted. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here.
I'm excited to have you. We've been missing each other.
Right, for sure.
Well, before we dive in and before we get started, tell the audience, who is Sharif, what is Credit Works, and what are we about to get access to today?
So basically what I do is I own a credit repair company where I help people fix their credit, right? Remove, things, negative items from their credit report. And then majority of those people, we help them after that access funding to, start and grow businesses, or, just other people that just want to buy a home, want to buy a car. We just basically, help people turn their life up. I also offer a coaching program as well, where I coach people and teach them how to start the same business that I have.
You out here changing lives.
Yeah, for sure.
When we sum it up, you're out here changing lives.
For sure.
And showing people how to, take challenges and things that maybe they have went through, maybe financial hardship, or maybe they went through a divorce or a bankruptcy, and remove it from their personal credit and get access to funding and credit and capital to elevate and grow. Congratulations to you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
How did you even get started with this?
So the way I got started, I need to fix my own credit, right? And at the time, I had like a regular 9-to-5 job, and it was just like I wasn't making a lot of money. So I seen other people on the internet what they was charging, and I was like, listen, I can't pay that right now. So I got to figure it out. So I started watching YouTube videos, and I was watching videos, and I figured, okay, I can use ChatGPT. This is around when it first came out, to fix my credit. So I started like that. I got a copy of my credit report. I put that into ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to write me disputes, right? And then I actually fixed my own credit like that, right? I sent it to the credit bureaus, fix my credit. And then once I did that, I was just like, hold on, I can help people do the same thing and, charge them, right? And I was looking at them, they charging $1,000, $1,500. Okay, if I find 30 people in 1 month, that's $30,000, right? I'm charging $1,000, and that's how I started.
Oh, wow. So I want to touch on a couple of things that you said in that. So first, you said you were working a 9-to-5, and you working a 9-to-5. And I'm sure there are a ton of people that are watching this right now. Maybe they're at their job, or they just got off and they're working a 9-to-5. How do you think working that 9-to-5 maybe molded you or shifted you and made you determined to want more, that you were seeing, other people on social media?
Well, I could definitely tell you how that really, just working 60 hours, right? I was working 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week, and still not able to, do what I want to do, buy the things. And I had a decent job. I was driving trucks, the 18-wheelers, I was doing that.
Oh, wow.
But it just still wasn't enough, right? Like, I see other people, they living comfortably, they take their girls out, buy them whatever purses, and I'm looking at people on the internet, they spending $3,000 on Chanel purses, and I'm like, that was my whole check. I can't do that. Something got to change. So yeah, that was like just me just wanting more.
That's
for
good.
Sure.
So for me, I used to work for Wells Fargo. A lot of people don't or do know that, but I used to work for Wells Fargo, and I was working for Wells Fargo, and I was asking them for a 25-cent pay raise, and they wouldn't give me a 25-cent pay raise. At the same time, I'm broke because I am an entrepreneur as well. And I wanted the pay raise to help me make more money to fund the business that I had, but I started applying for grants. And one of the grants that I received was $100,000 grant. And another company that I I didn't work for, and all I did was fill out an application and answer a couple of questions. They gave me $100,000, but the company that I was investing 40 plus hours a week
All your
into
life.
wouldn't even give me a 25-cent pay raise. So for me, that was my moment. Like, wait a minute, hold on. You mean to tell me I'm giving this company 40 hours a week, never calling out, showing up, giving, meeting my numbers and doing everything I'm supposed to do, and they wouldn't even give me a 25-cent pay raise. So for me, that was my moment. Like, wait a minute, I got to do something different. I need to go lock in on this. And then shortly after that, they actually terminated me. So I say they fired me into freedom. They fired me into freedom is what I actually say, because it just pushed me out of my comfort zone. But I think everybody should work a 9 to 5 eventually, because I feel like it shows you the importance of getting up on time, being dedicated, like locking in. Do you believe that? Do you think that working, like having that set schedule and being organized and being in that working environment helped you in your entrepreneur journey at all?
I would say the work, no, but like other than the other stuff I've been through, like me, I did time in prison. I did almost 13 years in jail, right? And while I was in there, I felt like I lost so much. I lost so much time. I lost this, I was seeing people, move on in life, and they're, going to different countries. They're doing this and they're doing that. So I think that really kind of like just put a fire in me to be like, I have to make it. I have to, catch back up to, people that left me behind, right? I got to catch back up. And, a lot of those people, I'm caught back up for sure, so I think that was what really motivated me.
That's so amazing. And that not amazing that you did time, but you came out and you did something different. Like you didn't let the system define you. You didn't go back. Like you came out swinging, like ready to make a change, ready to make a difference. We have a young man inside of our community, and he received a $5,000 grant coming home from prison and telling his story. So I always love the success stories, to see the people who went in, did their time for whatever reason, but came out and made a difference. And now you are in the space where you're actually helping others change their life as well. So that's huge. You mentioned earlier, you took your credit report and you put it inside of ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. Like that is that's my best friend. I call my ChatGPT's name is Millionaire Bestie, because I only want to have $1 million conversations with you, right? So if I'm watching this, I can take my credit report and plug it into ChatGPT.
Literally.
Tell me more.
So basically, right, ChatGPT, you can take your credit report, right? So there's this app I use. Well, you could just go online too and download your credit report on Smart Credit, right? It'll give you all 3 of your bureaus. Or you could, what's name is a little bit more expensive experience, but Smart Credit is cheap. You could just do it for $1. It's gonna cost you $1. That's it. You're gonna get all 3 of your reports. You're gonna upload that into ChatGPT and tell it to write you disputes to remove all inaccurate or negative items from your credit report, right? And it can also do factual disputing, where it kind of basically goes on your credit report and it shows any inaccuracy from this bureau to the next bureau, right? And if anything is different, they have to remove the stuff, because there's only one truth on your credit report, right? Is if you owe this much or you started an account on this day, it shouldn't say on the other credit bureau that you started an account on a different day, right? So that's like the secret to like getting stuff off your credit report, for sure. And then like people don't understand, like they can literally do that and then immediately after go and get funding, especially if they have like a thick credit profile already, if they already have established credit cards, but then, they just went bad on a few accounts. They just remove those accounts and you go get funding.
So go to ChatGPT, go to Smart Credit. We're going to have the link in the comment for Smart Credit. So go to Smart Credit, download my credit report,
download the credit
upload
report,
it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will generate me the letters that I need to remove any late negative charges.
So I'm going to get a little bit more deep into it.
Let's go.
So after you take them letters, right, this is the real fast way, right? I wasn't going to tell y'all this, but I'm going to
give them access. It's access granted.
I'm going to give it to them, right? So what they want to do is once they get those letters, they're going to take those letters and go on this website called CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and you're going to upload those letters into the portal there with your ID, your social, so that way you don't have to send out mail, right? Because when you send out mail, you're going to be waiting for weeks. If you go to CFPB, it's electronically. They're an entity that they're like over the credit bureau. So, right, they have to answer to CFPB, right? So you'll submit it to them, and then they're going to electronically send the stuff to the credit bureaus for you. So really it's like a 3 to 7 day process to really get the stuff off your credit report.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm basically going to tell. I'm going to the CFPB to tell
Yeah,
them that
basically,
Experian,
yeah.
Equifax,
Yeah.
and
They
TransUnion
playing.
aren't doing what they're
Yeah,
supposed
they
to do.
playing. They playing.
Wow.
Because you could send the letters directly to. You can send it up. You can send because some people they'll send it directly to the bureaus and also try to do a CFPB report as well. But if once you do it through CFPB, you don't have to do letters. You don't have to do none of that stuff and wasting time.
That's amazing. Listen, that's access. That's
Right.
exclusive access. You actually teach this information, though, right?
sure.
Because I know, like, when we're watching this podcast, you know, things go, and people are probably leaning like, "What did he say? And where do
Right.
I go?" You actually teach this information, and you show people this strategy,
Yep.
and you show them not only how to remove the late charge-off collections, but once they increase their credit score, you show them how to get the bag and,
Right,
and get money
exactly.
and funding from it
Yep.
as well,
How to
right?
add trade lines, primaries, authorized users, what banks to go to, depending on your profile, so that way you're not just going and trying to pull from any bureau and you're not ready there. And I also coach people right on to fix their credit right, but to also run a credit repair or fund a business, really to run any business right. Because I also have an ad agency where I help all of my mentees. They run their ads through me and my team, right? But I have people that are doing workout stuff.
Wow.
That are, they're doing work. So I help them run their ads for their from their workout companies, real estate agents as well. So I have a few different people like in different industries where I help, excel at business.
We're going to get into that because I think it's super important for entrepreneurs. I know we probably got a few entrepreneurs that are watching this, but I think it's important for entrepreneurs to know how to market their business. And I think one of the number one things that I have done in my business, one is use paid advertisement, which is ads, right? And two, I pay for my ads with a credit card. So I'm getting rewards points from paying for my ads with credit cards. And then as I generate money and revenue in my business, I just go pay the credit card off. So we want to talk about
Using
that.
Amex Gold for that one?
Yes, I do.
Right,
so
okay.
we going to talk about that. Now that I've increased my credit, right? I've removed those late negatives, or maybe I haven't increased my credit yet, but I've removed those late negative and charge-offs on my account. You mentioned earlier trade lines.
Right.
What are trade lines and how important are they to my credit profile, and why should I have those trade lines on there?
So trade lines are basically just any line of credit, right? But when I say trade lines, so for example, you can open up a credit card, right? And you have a credit card. Once you open up that credit card, the credit company usually gives you spots on your credit card, which are called authorized users, right? Where you can add people to your credit card. Traditionally, people would, add their children or add their family members, right, to help them build their credit. But let's say, for example, somebody like me, I have, let's say, 40 credit cards, right? I have another partner that has about the same amount of credit cards, right? And we basically, instead of me adding my daughter or adding, one of my family members, I can add you to my card, right? And it'll help boost your credit. Basically, you will piggyback off of my credit score, off of my credit history, all the positive stuff. So now the only thing with that is you want to make sure that you're getting a good, it has some history to it. It has good amounts, and you're dealing with people that are responsible. That's not going to, give you a bad trade line.
That's really good. So, but I have a question though. So you have 40 cards, right? Could you add other people to that and charge them? Is that legal? Like, can you do that? Can you make that a business?
Yeah, you can. You can. So yeah, that's, a lot of people are doing it.
Is it a play?
Yeah, for sure.
So I have a credit card that has, I've had it for 10 years or 15 years. And I don't really use this credit card. It's, it has like a zero balance, or maybe I use it occasionally, but it has really good interest. Maybe it has a balance or a credit limit of $30,000, right? I actually have that. I have a Navy Federal credit card like that, right? And I never use it. So I could take this credit card and I could say, hey, Sharif, I know you want to increase your personal credit. You give me $500, I'll put you on this credit card.
30,000, that's about 1,000.
That's 1,000? Sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's impactful. So not only are you getting access to this credit, you can actually leverage it and make more money from it as well.
Yep.
That's really good. Okay. So now, but this is I think this is the concern that a lot of people have, right? So I can go to these banks and I can go get access to all of this credit, and, maybe I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm scared because $100,000 in credit is a lot. $1 million in credit is a lot, and I'm afraid of it. What are some things that I can do? One, to shift my mindset from being afraid of accessing this credit and capital, but how can I really turn my business up when I get access to this money?
I mean, like for example, I would just use like what my business, for example, right? When I first started, right, I didn't have, so when I first started this, when I first started doing the credit repair, I started doing credit repair by, I had needed to fix my credit, right? But what really made me take it serious was I got fired from my job, right? And it's crazy because you said you got fired from your job. Actually got into a fight with another employee. They fired me, right? And I already learned the credit repair stuff, and I already had it like kind of like going. So once I got fired, it was just like, man, this is what I'm doing. And at the time, my child's mother, she was like, oh, you need to get another job. You got to find another job because I don't know about this, this credit repair stuff, right? So she's stressed out. We got bills already, So I'm like, you know what? Let me just take this serious, and this is what I want to do, right? So I was just like, man, I'm not going to get no job. This is what I'm doing, right? So I ran to this guy on Instagram who was actually running ads, and he was like, yo, he's going to charge me a few $1,000s to run my ads. And then I would have to just pay for my daily ad costs, right? So I started running ads. I was paying about I think it was probably $50 a day or something like that. So in my first week, right, I probably spent around $200, $300, somewhere around there, right? And I believe the first week I made $5,000, right, from that $400 that I spent. And then for the rest of the month, I ended up totaling around $25,000 in my first month, right? So, and the reason why I brought this up because you asked me, you said, what can people do once they get that money to scale their business, right? Definitely run ads with your business. Invest the money into ads, right? So that whole month, I might have spent $3,000 or $4,000, but I ended up making $25,000 off of just me running ads, me making videos. Hey, my name is Sharif. Do you need your credit fixed? If so, click the link below. Simple video, run ads on it. People DM me. I get on the phone with them and sell them what I'm selling. So with any business, you can do that. I don't care if you're selling wigs. I don't care if you're selling cars, whatever you're selling, you can run paid advertisement. You just want to just make sure, your target and all that stuff is set up right. You want to make sure you got a good ad person. So that way you're not just spending money, because you can lose money by running ads and you don't know how to set it up correctly. I will say that. But as long as you got a good ad team, sky's the limit with the paid ads. You don't have to have 100, 200,000 followers, none of that stuff. When I first started, I probably had 1,000, 2,000 followers, and I was already making that kind of money.
That's good. I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of times people feel like, hey, you have to have 100,000 or more followers to make money on social media. And you're like, no, I started with 1,000, 2,000 followers on social media, and I still was able to run up a nice bag. You mentioned earlier, and it made me think about my journey when I was first fired from Wells Fargo. My mom was so upset. She was so upset. I mean, I think she cried. And she was like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, full time. And she was like, no, you can just go to another bank. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. Not doing that. And, sometimes it's the people that are closest to us that are telling us that don't go in on your dreams, go do something different. And you just got to make a believer out of them sometimes. 100%. And it sounds like you did the same thing. And I know that's challenging, because this person was in your home. Like you said, it was your child's mother. And you're probably listening to this every single day. You need to go get a job. You need to go get a job. But you're trying to focus on this dream that you have. And now my mom, she's retired. She works in my business. But before, she was filling out job applications for me because she wanted me to go back into corporate America. Nobody in my family was an entrepreneur at the time. How do you overcome that? How do you what gives you the motivation and the drive to keep going? Even when things are hard and people tell you that you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, you should go back to work, but you are so driven and focused on this goal. You're like, this has to work, or it has to work.
I think it's just more so of belief in yourself. If you know him, you her, it don't matter what nobody else is talking about. You know, listen, I know it. When you know. Yeah. So this was something that I was just I seen other people making money from. I'm like, oh, I could do better than that. I could do better than that. If he's making it, I could do it. And I just seen the blueprint. It just made sense to me. I'm like, I'm working all day, 60 hours a week to make $2,000 a week. This ain't nothing. It's not working. It's not, it's not what I want to do. Right. I'm working 12 hours. So by the time I go home, I go to sleep for 8 hours. And I had a hard job. I was carrying these big, like steel. It was like steel and metal. Like I was loading 18 wheelers with these big, this crazy stuff, right?
Wow.
And I'm doing this all day, 12 hours a day, 12 hours a day, going to sleep. By the time I wake back up, I'm going right back to work. So it was just like, I know a lot of people want to get out of that life. And for the people that are watching this, right, it's very easy to make money. It's very easy. It's right now in this generation where we got AI, we got the internet, we got so much different ways that you can make money on the internet. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
I think this is like the best time to, whatever the business is, whatever the idea, whatever the dream is, because there's so many people that have an idea to start a business. They just don't know what to do, where to start, or even, if this should be a thing. Right now is the best time to actually execute on it, because there's so many ways for you to get leverage and get access to OPM, other people's money,
Right.
to do the thing that you want to do. What are some banks? Let's give them some access. Or I'm going to ask you this: what are the top 3 things I can do right now if I have the idea of starting a business? I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start a business. I'm tired of playing it small. I'm ready to go all in. What are the top 3 things that I can do to secure the bag, to go get some money for my business, to fund my dream?
Top 3 things: fix your credit, fix your credit, fix your credit. All right, but let me see. For sure.
For sure.
So get the credit right. I tell people this all the time: get the credit right. You got to. And like you asked me that question, people be scared and like, oh, it's credit, and we weren't taught that like credit was a bad thing. No, you want to be able to leverage other people's money. Get funding from banks, right? And take that money to invest, right? Because guess what? It takes you 30 years to save up, $1 million at your job, right? To save up $1 million from your retirement and your paychecks, right? You're going to be there forever trying to save that, but you can go get that same amount of money in 30 days if you have good credit. If your credit is good, you can go get that kind of money with good credit, right? So why are you waiting a whole lifetime to get access to this money, right? So that way you can, go and retire with it, whatever you're trying to do. You take that $1 million that they give you and you turn it to $10 million. Or if they give you $100,000, you take it and you turn it to $1 million. So definitely fix your credit, but just more detailed. I would say what helped me, right, when I came home from prison, right, I started fixing my credit, of course, and then I started getting credit cards. I started, applying for credit cards. So that was one of the things that helped me. So one of the banks I would say is Navy Federal. Navy Federal is for me, is like the best bank in the world. They just be giving out money. I got probably like 5 or 6 credit cards from them, business and personal credit cards. And they just give out money. That's just what they do. And now, mind you, I've been home from prison about 2 years now, 2 years and some change, a little bit over 2 years. And I have credit cards with them, high limits, 30,000, 20,000. I got a bunch and they'll give you the money, right? So one thing, but what I did with Navy Federal was, right? So a lot of people think with Navy Federal, you have to be a member to be a part of Navy Federal. You don't. You just have to have somebody that they can be a member. I'm a member of Navy Federal, right? I've never been in the Army. My sister was in the Army, right? But now I can add people to Navy Federal once I have an account, right? So I've helped a few different people that I know get Navy Federal accounts. Once you get the Navy Federal account, Navy Federal has something called they have an internal banking rating, right? So they have their own credit scoring system, right? So TransUnion and the credit bureaus, they're gonna score you their way, but Navy Federal is gonna go on your score. They're gonna score you their own way, right? And the way they do that is by using their products, right? So you use they have one thing on there, a feature called Oops, right? That's a product that you could use. Direct deposit. You sign up, let's say if you have another primary bank, you don't have to put all of your checking in. You could split it, right? As long as you're using the feature, right? You could just put $50 in there. It don't matter. As long as you're using that feature, they feel like you're more committed to them as a bank, right? And then another thing that I did with Navy Federal, and I have a lot of my clients do to help them get funding, is do a pledge loan, right? So I just got one guy. I got him his first credit card. It's his first credit card ever in life. It's $20,000. First card. Never had $1,000 or $2,000 card, nothing, right?
Wow.
Luckily for him, he did have a little bit of money, but you can do this he had $15,000 at the time, but you can do it with $500. You can do it when I did mine with $5,000. They gave me a $27,000 card, but that wasn't my first card though. So with him, what I had him do was he took $15,000 and I had him put it into his savings, right? And then we called Navy Federal and we said, listen, we want to open up a pledge loan. They took that money that we put in there, they put a hold on it, then they put another $15,000 in his account, right? Now with that $15,000, what he does is he takes that $15,000 and he pays the loan back, but he just pays not the whole loan off, just enough for it to stay open and to be basically like 99% paid off. So once you pay that off, right, he paid that off, the loan stays open for 60 months. And like once you make that payment, they'll say, hey, listen, your next payment is not due until 2030 or whatever, because you basically paid the whole loan off, right? So once he did that, we waited to hit his credit report. Then we went to apply for a credit card from him, help him get a $20,000 card. Now, $20,000 may not be a lot of money to some people, but to some people it is, right? And to him it was. He needed the money to help him, do what he was trying to do.
That's amazing. What are some other success stories? Some people that maybe somebody came to you and was like, I ain't never had a credit card before. Some students that you've been able to help or support, or maybe some entrepreneurs that you've been able to help them get access to funding to actually start their business.
So I got a lot of people that actually come into my mentorship program from being a client of mine. So I had this one lady named Mitzi. She's an older lady. She's like in her 60s. She came to me to fix her and her husband's credit. Right, I fixed her credit, and after that, she was like, "Listen, I want to join your mentorship program." We was having an event. Me, Darius Bennett, and we was having an event. I brought out. She came out here. Then she joined the mentorship program, and now she's actually doing, making a lot of money on social media, posting content. And I tell people like, it don't matter how old you is, And she at first she was nervous of making the content. Now I can't keep her off the screen. Now she want to be making more videos than me, right? So that's one. And then I have another mentee. Her name is Vita, Top Notch Vita. And she's going crazy. I think like 2 months ago, she had like a $200,000 a month where she made like $200K in a month. Yeah. She does taxes. She does taxes, business funding, right? When she came to me, she was already making some kind of money though. I will say that she was doing business funding and taxes, right? But she needed the credit repair part to like, give her the full table so that way she didn't have to, send her clients to anyone else, right? So I gave her the game with the credit repair, whole blueprint. And in my mentorship program, like once you join it, you kind of already have, I kind of like give you the business already built out for you. So you already have like a team of disputers, people that, handle all the stuff on the back end for you. So you don't really have to do nothing. All you have to do is find a client. You just got to find people that need their credit fixed. You pay the disputer what you're going to pay them, and the rest is history.
I love that. But what I love the most, you mentioned she already had a business, and she was able to add this into her business, right. Especially if I'm watching this and I'm in the tax industry or any business that I have, right? So I have a community where I teach people about grants. If I added this credit piece in, it enhances the business that I have. It doesn't take away from it. I don't have to do anything different. I'm just adding an additional stream of income to the existing business that I currently have. So a tax professional, what better time to tell somebody to get their credit restored when they have extra money from their taxes?
You can just withdraw that right out of your taxes. It'll be like you never even seen it.
It'll be like you never even seen it. But you get to reap the benefit and the reward in a couple of months when your credit is increased. Then I get to help you not only restore your credit, but go get access to more funding and more capital, or leverage other people's money to start the business that you've been talking about, or go get the car or buy the dream house that you've been talking about as well. That is so amazing. It's so good. Okay. So if I'm watching this, what are some benefits of me actually joining the mentorship and actually starting the credit repair company as well?
Become rich very fast. Very fast. I will say that, right? So the mentees, some of them excel faster than the others. Like the one I just told you about, I think in her first 2 weeks, she made like $30,000 in her first 2 weeks, the one that had the 200K month. But she already had people, like a system. She already had a clientele. So she was able to just, reach out to all her people, especially like I see so many people right now, right? I see so many people. I see gold mines on Instagram. I be seeing people 800,000 followers. Like some of the comedians and stuff, I be going to talk to them, or I might pay them to do a skit, and I be like, and you ain't making no money. I pull up on this dude, he in a Honda Civic, he got 900,000 followers on IG. You ain't making no money off of it. Right? I see people on there with gold mines. So, right? So if you are one of those people, you already got 30, 40, 50,000 followers. That is money right there that you're sitting on and you don't even know it, right? You just need a product to sell. That's it. You just need a product to sell. So the benefit of, joining a mentorship program, right? If you're a business owner, like you just said, you can add this into your business. If you're brand new and you just need some money, right? It's very easy, right? Everybody doesn't need a wig, right? Everybody doesn't need a hat. Everybody doesn't need a watch. Everybody has a credit score.
Everybody has a credit score.
Everybody has a credit score, right? And everybody's credit score goes up and it goes down, right? So you're the people that, even if you have a good one, it can still be made stronger, right? So you learn how to, I don't just teach, credit repair. I teach business funding and how to just structure a credit profile properly, right? So you'll learn that and you'll be able to charge people high ticket for it, for what you're learning. Quit your job. I know y'all want to do that.
Definitely want to quit those jobs. That's actually really good. And I tell people all the time, I wish there's so many things that are so accessible because of social media and because we're online. And 10 years ago when I first started one of my first companies, I didn't have the mentorship, the coaching. Like nobody would teach me this information. Now you have coaches that are creating communities and starting mentorship programs. Now you do have to make an investment into your business and into your dreams. But how has mentorship and coaching changed the dynamic of you and your business as well?
So it definitely helps a lot, right? Because when I first started, and that's something that I tell a lot of my students too. Like when I be on a coaching call with them, I'll be like, listen, when I started this, I ain't had no coach, and I figured it out, all right? And if I'm explaining to you in detail, there should be no reason why you're not going and just killing it right now, making money. I already set the whole business up for you. Easy for you to do. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just find clients, right? If you're having a hard time doing that organically, invest the money in the ads. It's going to work. Just run the play. But yeah, I kind of forgot what you asked me.
Yeah, I just asked you about mentorship.
You asked me how did it change me? Okay, yeah. So that, right? But as far as like me, like paying mentors, I paid a few different people for mentorship, right? So when I first started, I was figuring the stuff out on my own, right? And it was just like, I could have saved myself a whole lot of time if I just paid somebody. If I would have just paid somebody,
mentor me
faster. I could have been way further than what I am now, right? If I would have just, paid people in the beginning, I wouldn't have wasted those 3 to 6 months just trying to figure it out on my own. You paid them, and the crazy, right? The highest I paid for mentorship so far was like $30,000, right? And even with that one, I made the money back quickly, right? I made that money back quickly, but at the time when I was thinking, I'm like, $30,000, I'm like, man, this dude better make me fly after this. Like he better be coming to sit on my couch to teach me, right? But definitely need a mentor, right? A mentor, they say it's like the snowplow, right? Driving it, you're the car driving behind it, and it's just pushing all the snow out the way for you. That's what a mentor does. Removes the problems for you in the beginning, so that way you don't have to bump your head and try to figure it out and catch headaches. And I used to be sitting in front of my computer till my brain would hurt, and I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, I always say it's like your GPS. Like when you get in the car and you don't know what destination you're trying to get to, you plug the address in your GPS. Your mentor is your GPS. They're able to get you to the destination that you're trying to go to a lot quicker, right? What advice do you have to the person that's watching this and they're like, all right, this is good. I'm just going to go find this information on YouTube, or I'm just going to go plug my credit report in ChatGPT real quick. I don't want to.
May the gods be with you. But
what advice do you have to that person?
Listen, I would definitely say invest in a mentor for sure if you can. But if you don't have the money, and you just flat broke, right? You just don't have the money. I would say maybe fix your credit, right? So that way you could get a loan and invest in a mentor, right? Go on ChatGPT, get your credit right, invest in a loan, get a mentor, right? But I don't care if you got to really borrow the money from somebody, right? Because guess what? You don't know what you don't know, right? Yeah. You think a lot of these people that ran into wealth and they ran into all this stuff was because they was just geniuses. No, a lot of them had family members that showed them, this is what you do, son. Or, they had a teacher or a coach. They had somebody to show them and say, listen, or they had a job, right? And they sat back and watched what the co-founder, they sat there and watched what he was doing. And the president of the company said, okay. And the next thing you know, they end up becoming the president, right? Because they was shown what to do. It's the same thing with a mentor in any business that you're trying to run. You gotta invest in a mentor. It's just it ain't no other way around it.
I 100% agree. I think one of my second mentor, was $25,000, I believe. And I didn't have $25,000, but I put it on my credit card and I just made payments on it. And it was, I mean, very affordable. And, a couple of months later, it was a speaking mentor. It was to help me become a better speaker. And a couple of months later, I hosted an event and I crushed the event because I was a better speaker. So I just took the money that
I
I
actually
made.
feel like I need help with that. That's what,
Oh yeah, Marcus Y. Rozier, for sure. Marcus Y. Rozier,
Yeah.
entrepreneur speaker. He has an entrepreneur speaker program. He teaches you how to build
I
your
follow
brand,
him. I
business,
follow
and bank
him.
account. But yeah, absolutely. So y'all, that's my coach. He has an event this week too, but that's my coach. But yeah, so it's literally just showing you how to be a better speaker. And right after our main session, I hosted a challenge. And my pitch was crazy because he teaches you like storytelling and seeding and pre-pitching and all of these different words and terms that I had no idea were even a thing, but it's all part of the journey. And I crushed it. And I'm like, all right, made my money back, went in, paid the credit card off. I think it was even before the first payment was due. But it was the importance of I had the credit card, I had the credit. I was able to leverage the credit to pay the mentorship. If I needed to make payment arrangements, I could have because I had it on the credit card and it was pennies per month if I did have to, make those payments. But it showed me how to be a better speaker. And now I've been able to, I get paid speaking engagements. I get paid anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 to speak plus travel. All of this came from an investment that I made into myself. So I think it's super important that people just figure out what they need to invest in and hire a mentor to make it happen. Well, this has been an amazing conversation. Do you have any last piece of advice or words of encouragement for the people that are watching?
Listen, man, if you haven't fixed your credit yet, fix it, right? Start there. If you already got the good credit, definitely invest in, trying to get yourself funding, right? And learn the credit game, right? This is for people that need it. For the people that already have money, cool. But even if you already have money, still get your credit fixed. Also, follow me on all social media platform at CreditWorks _ Instagram, TikTok.
And we're going to have a link in the comments for them to come work with you, for them to come learn this information directly from you, because I think it's important that they know, you can try to plug your credit report inside of ChatGPT, but why not follow somebody who has already done the work and collaborate with somebody that has the blueprint to show you exactly what to do to be successful?
That's what we're going to do. We're going to put my community, my school community down there for them. They could come join that and learn from the best.
Yeah, learn from the best. All right, you guys. This has been another amazing episode of Access Granted. I want you to make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this with 3 people that you love. Until next time.
What's up, y'all? This Sharif from CreditWorks, and your access has just been granted.